Hi, this is Elizabeth Sippenderfer, and this is my Persuasive Speech, and here's my audience. Have 9 in attendance, and here we go. Cancer. Horrible tumors that have affected all of us at one time or another. Close your eyes and imagine the following situation. You're startled awake and disoriented. It takes a few seconds before the cobweb clears, only to realize that it's just the doctors and nurses checking on you yet once again. You're lying in a hospital bed, hooked up to numerous machines, trying to sleep through the constant pain and exhaustion, all the while slowly wasting away. You wonder which is worse, the cancer you're fighting or the myriad of medications and the treatments you're taking. The doctors have given you 6 months to live. There's no cure available right now. There's none coming down the pipes in the next 6 months. Death is looming. It's only a matter of time. You don't want to be a burden to your children. You don't want somebody feeding you, changing you. That's very embarrassing. You and your family have made all the arrangements. You've said your final goodbyes. And yet you lay there, hoping and praying that God would take you soon. Now open your eyes. If you could choose the circumstances in which you were to die, would you? Would you want to die with dignity? Physician-assisted suicide is often confused with enthusia. According to Medscape.com, enthusia is the act whereby a physician intentionally causes the death of a terminally ill patient. For example, a physician performs enthusia when he or she delivers a lethally injected amount of potassium chloride into the patient for the express purpose of terminating the patient's life. Enthusia is a form of homicide and is illegal in the United States. It differs from murder in only that the reason is considered merciful rather than malicious. The physician's intent is to help the terminally ill patient avoid the suffering that often accompanies the act of dying. PAS can be defined as an act of self-destruction committed by a patient with the assistance of a physician. The most common example is that of a physician giving a patient a prescription of a lethal amount of medication at which the patient later ingests to bring about death. PAS is called suicide because the patient deliberately ends his or her own life. It is physician-assisted because the physician not only agrees to help the patient end its own life, but also prescribes a lethal dose of medication. Enthusia also differs from PAS in that patients requesting PAS are actively involved in causing their own death. There are currently 5 states in the U.S. where the physician-assisted suicide laws are in place. The first was in Oregon with the ballot measure 16, November 8, 1994. The second was Washington with Initiative 1000 in November 4th of 2008. Third state was Montana with the Montana Supreme Court versus Baxter versus Montana. Fourth was Vermont with the Act 39 bill, Bill S-77, End of Life Choices. Fifth was California with the End of Life 3 Option Act. A 6th state could be added to the list. A story dated November 13, 2014 on CBS.com says that lawmakers in New Jersey passed a bill Thursday, November 6, 2014, that would allow physicians to prescribe life-ending drugs to terminally ill patients. The Aid in Dying for the Terminally Ill Act passed the state assembly in a vote of 41 to 31. However, PAS is only given to individuals in Montana through a court decision. All the other states these are the requirements. You must be 18 years or older, have been diagnosed with a terminal illness, and have given less than 6 months to live. They must make 2 oral requests to the doctor within 15 days apart and 1 in writing. And 2 doctors must confirm the diagnosis and assess the person to make sure they are all there to make their health decisions. This is not a law that allows for impulsive decisions. On usatoday.com, October 2015, an article entitled Physician-Assisted Suicide Laws Grant Dignity, Our View, it lists a few oppositions and fears to PAS. Fears that such laws would lead to abuse and coercion have been unfounded. Oregon, the first state to allow PAS, have paved the way with more than 15 years of experience and a properly structured law. The fact is, in Oregon, the number of suicides has been small. a total of 859 suicides in 17 years. Last year, there were 105 PASs out of a total of 34,190 deaths in Oregon. Fears that the poor and uneducated or minorities lacking health insurance to provide proper care would be forced into suicide. The fact is, according to Oregon statistics, since 1998, 97% of the individuals have all been white, all but 6 were high school graduates, 46% had a bachelor's degree or higher, more than 98% of these people had health insurance, and 90% were enrolled in hospice. Charles Selberg, 77, a retired real estate agent diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, in a commentary for the Denver Post, he wrote the following with the help of his daughter. Living with this disease is a cruelty we would not tolerate for a pet. At this time, he couldn't eat, breathe on his own, or speak above a labored whisper. But without a legal way to end his life, he was forced to live on, as he said, really just a mind now, trapped in a dead body. Brittany Maynard, who is 29, who died recently, had moved to Oregon. Her husband told the Meredith Vieira show, "You don't want to let your loved one go, but to suggest that she would suffer for me or for anyone, no. Here's the person I love. I don't want to see her go, but the seizure of the morning was a reminder of what she was risking, because what was coming next was losing her eyesight, becoming paralyzed, the inability to speak, and essentially being trapped in her own body." The debate on physician-assisted suicide is complex. There's good points and bad points on either side. A Gallup poll conducted in May of 2014 found that 70% of Americans agreed. California's Governor Jerry Brown got it right when he wrote that he doesn't know what he would do if he were dying in a prolonged and excruciating pain, but that it would be a comfort to consider the options afforded by the bill, and I would not deny that right to others. Americans are afforded by choice, by the law, to produce and consume alcohol, and now marijuana. Does that mean that everybody drinks and smokes pot? No, it is a personal choice. Honestly, I don't know what I would do if it came down to me being on a ventilator, terminally ill. I don't really know what I would do, but I do know that I would want a choice. It may not be for everybody, and like I said, I don't know what I would do if it was me. I just think Americans should have the choice. We have the choice to vote, not to vote, choice to consume alcohol. We all deserve a chance. We all deserve a right to die with dignity if it is our choice. Thank you.